Yeah, everyone, and welcome back. Before we begin here today, please make sure that you like and subscribe because it really does help us out over here. And it also helps us reach others in need of assistance with these topics. So what we're going to be covering in today's video is we're going to be going over trigonometry, and we're going to be looking at how to use the law of cosines or the law of sines to solve for either a missing side or a missing angle of a triangle. And this will be the second part in this series. So just as a refresher for the law of sines, what we're going to have is we're going to have the sine of an internal angle A is going to be divided by the side that is opposite that angle. That would be equal to the sine of a different angle, little b, divided by the side that is opposite that one. And then technically you would have the same thing for a third angle and a third opposite side. That would be your law of sines. The law of cosines would be your side c squared is equal to your other a side squared plus the b side squared minus off 2 times both of those sides, and then finally times the cosine of the angle that is opposite your side c, which is little angle c. And all of this is looking like this, where we have that is an ugly triangle, but you get the idea. We'll have side A, little angle opposite that, which is B, or little side, oh my gosh. We have side A, and then the little angle that's opposite that is lowercase a. Then we have side B with the little angle opposite it, which is lowercase b, and then side C, and then the angle opposite that is lowercase c. So we're going to be looking at these two triangles, and we're going to be determining either an unknown value of an angle or a side for the triangle using one of these two. So let's look at our first one here. X is an angle, so we have to determine an angle here for this triangle. Well, let's see what we have going on here. We have two sides that are known and only one internal angle known. Well, we know that this angle right here is opposite this side. Well, what is x? X is opposite the 15 over here as well. So anytime you have two sides known, and one of those known angles is opposite one of your known sides, and one of your unknown angles is opposite one of your other sides, you can use the law of sines like this. So let's just call this 120, let's just call it a little sine of A, so sine of 120 degrees, over the side that is opposite it, which is 15 times the square root of 3, is equal to the sine of my angle X divided by the side that is opposite it, which is the 15. For the law of sines, you only really need to use two parts in conjunction together. You don't have to use all three. This is just showing that they're all three equal to each other, but you only need to use two portions of it. So we can just cross multiply here and rearrange. So we would have the sine of X is equal to 15 times the sine of 120 degrees. And, oh, I forgot my 15 here. 15 times the square root of 3. And then we'll divide by 15 square root of 3 over here. So we would have 15 times the sine of 120 degrees divided by 15 square roots of 3. And if we want to get to x, we would just sine inverse that entire portion. So sine inverse of 15 times the sine of 120 degrees all over 15 times the square root of 3. So this would pop out to be exactly 30 degrees because this portion right here pops out to be exactly 1/2, and then sine inverse of 1/2 is 30 degrees. And that would be my answer. So for most triangles, when you're using the law of sines or cosines to solve for it, usually you only have to use one. Harder triangles, you would have to use both of them in order to find certain things. But this one, we only had to use the law of sines. All right, so let's move on to our second one here. Once again, our unknown angle or unknown x is an angle. And let's see what's going on here. Well, I do have the side that is opposite my unknown, which is square root of 10. But look what else is going on here. I don't know any other internal angle here. In order to use the law of sines, when my unknown value is an angle, I need to know one of the other angles and the corresponding opposite side. Well, I don't have that going on here, so I cannot use the law of sines. What about the law of cosines? Well, I do have all three sides known, and x would be opposite my 10 or square root of 10 side. So let's fill out the law of cosines equation, which is shown up here. So my x would be my little angle C, and my large capital C squared would just be 10 or square root of 10 squared, because that is the side that is opposite my unknown. So let's fill this in. I would have square root of 10 squared is equal to another side, which is A, which we'll just call that 4 squared, and then plus B squared, which would be the square root of 2 squared, and then minus off 2 times those two sides, so 2 times 4 times the square root of 2, and then cosine of my unknown angle x. So we just have some rearranging to do, some solving to do here. So square root of 10 squared is just 10, 4 squared is 16, square root of 2 squared is just 2, and then 2 times 4 times the square root of 2 is just 8 times the square root of 2 cosine of x. Well, the cosine of x is going to be equal to 10 minus off 16 minus off 2, all divided by minus 8 times square root of 2. Well, this gives me cosine of x is equal to the square root of 2 over 2. Or you could write square root of 2 over 2 from this fraction right here, which is 0.7071. And then you would just take the cosine inverse of that value to get x. So cosine inverse of 0.7071, and this gives me a value for x of exactly 45 degrees. So that's how you would solve that second triangle using the law of cosines. So the only trick here with using the law of cosines and law of sines is just make sure that you have enough information to complete either one. If usually the law of sines means you have a little bit more information than the law of cosines, typically, not always. So I hope this video was helpful. And if you want to see more problem solvers Friday, please check out other videos on our channel. Also, if you haven't done so already, please like this video, leave a positive comment below, and subscribe to the channel because all of that does help us. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day.